All right, let's talk about one of the most fascinating and, honestly, misunderstood animals on the planet, the red panda. This creature is just full of wonderful contradictions, a true one-of-a-kind survivor. So let's get right into what makes it so incredibly special.
Right off the bat, we've got to clear something up. You hear the name panda, and you think of the big black and white bear, right? Well, this isn't a tiny version of that. And yeah, it's got a mask and a bushy tail like a raccoon, but it's not one of those either. The red panda is a complete original, standing all on its own in the animal kingdom.
In fact, it's so unique that it is the single, sole surviving member of its entire animal family, the Ailuridae. Think about that. It makes the red panda something of a living fossil, a one-of-a-kind branch on the tree of life that has no other close living relatives.
So in this explainer, here's what we're going to cover. We'll look at what makes it the one and only. We'll journey to its high-altitude home, see how it's perfectly built for a life munching on bamboo, uncover its secret social world, and then follow its journey from a tiny cub to an adult.
Okay, so let's start by unpacking that unique identity. What does it really mean to be the last of your kind?
That family name, Ailuridae, basically just contains this one species. That's it. While its distant relatives are in the same big group as things like weasels and raccoons, the red panda is completely alone in its own little family. And this really shows you the difference between the two animals we call pandas. The red panda is an ailurid. The giant panda, that's in the family Ursidae, which makes it a true bear. So yeah, they share a name and a serious love for bamboo, but that's pretty much where the family connection ends.
Now let's talk about where it lives. A unique animal needs a unique home, right? And the red panda has absolutely mastered life way up in the clouds.
You'll find red pandas in the cool, misty forests of the eastern Himalayas. They are serious high-altitude specialists, totally comfortable at elevations that would make most other animals struggle. You know, their perfect home has three key ingredients: a thick, dense carpet of bamboo, steep slopes to hide out on, and a stream or river nearby. And, as you can imagine, its home totally defines its diet. Bamboo is the absolute star of the show, making up at least 85% of everything it eats. Sure, they'll snack on some fruits, berries, and maybe even an egg or some insects if they find them, but for all intents and purposes, they are bamboo-eating machines. Which brings us to a really fascinating puzzle. How does an animal that has the digestive system of a carnivore manage to survive on a diet of tough, not-so-nutritious leaves? It's this amazing paradox that just defines the red panda. It actually belongs to the order Carnivora, that's the same group as cats, dogs, and bears, but it eats an almost exclusively vegetarian diet. It's a card-carrying carnivore that has completely dedicated its life to eating leaves. So to solve this puzzle, the red panda has this whole survival system worked out. It starts with incredibly powerful jaws and wide teeth to grind down all that tough bamboo. Then, it's super picky. It only goes for the most tender and nutritious new leaves and shoots. But because it still has the short digestive system of a carnivore, it has to eat a ton. And the final, absolutely crucial piece of the puzzle is an incredibly low metabolism, kind of like a sloth's, which lets it save every single drop of energy it gets. So just how much is a ton? Well, a red panda can spend up to 13 hours every single day just looking for food and eating. That's more than half of its life spent just fueling up. And to really put that in perspective, a red panda has to eat about 30% of its own body weight in bamboo every day. Just try to imagine eating a third of your weight in salad every single day. It's incredible.
Its entire body is like a toolkit built for this exact lifestyle. It's got dense fur that even covers the bottoms of its feet, which acts like snowshoes and insulation. It has a special modified wrist bone that works like a false thumb to help it grip bamboo. Its ankles are so flexible it can literally climb down trees head first, and that gorgeous bushy tail, it's not just for looks. It's a balancing tool and a built-in blanket for cold nights.
Okay, so now that we get the individual, let's explore how these mostly solitary animals actually manage to interact with each other in their huge, rugged homes.
It's a great question, isn't it? If you almost never see another one of your kind, how do you find a mate, or defend your territory, or even just let others know that you're around?
The answer is all about efficiency. They talk through scent. Red pandas have these specialized glands that create a unique chemical signature, kind of like a personal ID card. They leave this scent on trees and rocks, creating this sort of invisible social network. This lets other pandas read who's nearby, whether they're looking for a mate and whose territory they're wandering into, all without spending the energy on a face-to-face meeting.
And this whole scent marking thing highlights one of the main differences between males and females. The males hold down these larger territories that often overlap with a few smaller female territories, and they're constantly patrolling their turf. Physically, though, they look pretty much identical. You can't really tell them apart just by looking at them.
And finally, let's take a look at how this incredible animal grows up, from a completely helpless little cub into a true master of the high-altitude forest.
Red pandas are born in these small litters, usually just 1 to 4 cubs. They stick with their mom for over a year, learning all the secrets to surviving in their tough environment. They start eating bamboo around 6 to 8 months and hit their adult size at the 1-year mark. By about 18 months, they're fully independent and ready to find their own piece of the forest, living for about 14 years on average in the wild.
So, what have we learned? The red panda is just a creature of these beautiful contradictions. It's a vegetarian with a meat-eater's body, a solitary animal with a really complex social language, and more than anything, it is a perfectly tuned survivor in one of the most challenging landscapes on the entire planet.
It makes you wonder, doesn't it? What other incredible specialists are out there, hiding in plain sight, each with its own unique story of survival that's just waiting to be told?